Well, howdy, howdy, guys. This is Dad Guy Gaming again, and today I'm going to do a quick overview of a nice little chlorine farming operation I've got going here. I don't want to take too long showing you guys this, but basically what I have here is my base that is doing activated indium and oxygen farming. Using the mineral and gas extractors that you can build using plans that you can get from the anomaly. Show you those real quick. So you've got your mineral extractors and your gas extractors, and you just have to find a gas cloud or a mineral that you want to mine. In this case, I wanted to do chlorine farming, so I set up an oxygen extractor. I believe this is only a class B. You don't really need much oxygen, to be honest, unless you want to spend all day long doing your chlorine farming. But there's my extractors. I set them all on top of each other because they get the maximum amount of percentage off of the node here. I think, let's see here. Yeah, class B. So, anywho, I get about 365 an hour each. So I set up enough to get roughly 6,000 an hour, or with all my storage units, 61,000. So that's enough to go quite a ways as far as chlorine farming goes. Now, the beauty of chlorine farming is you basically need a little bit of chlorine and a little bit of oxygen to turn that into 1 chlorine into 6 chlorine. And if you'll look here, if I go to sell chlorine, even in this economy, which is not super in demand, chlorine goes for 575 per. I think base amount would be 602 units each, and you can find economies that will pay you even more. But I've got 280 chlorine in my inventory. I've got 5 refiners there, 5 refiners there, and then I'm storing oxygen here. Now I have quite a bit built up because I don't come in here every day and harvest chlorine. So I have quite a bit of oxygen stored up in my storage units down here. So let me grab some stacks of those. Not that guy. Okay, come on. There we go. So I'll grab 10 stacks. Actually, you know what? I only need 5. I'm going to do half. Just kind of quickly. It's 4 minutes at a time of harvest to get your chlorine, but I only have 280 right now, so I can't fill all my refiners anyway. So I'll just start a few up and kind of gather a little bit, just enough to get the ball rolling here. Honestly, you could have 1 chlorine in your inventory, turn it into 6, and then just keep going from there. I just like to do a little of that, get about 100, and then move on to the next guy. gives me about a minute to do all this stuff. But yeah, you'll see it takes 1 oxygen. Actually, I think it's 2 oxygen. Yep. And 1 chlorine to make 6 chlorine. So let me just refresh this guy. So he has more fuel to go off of. Get this guy going as well before he finishes. Got a couple minutes there. Start these guys up here. But yeah, I only spend a few minutes a day doing this because you make quite a bit of money, as you'll see. I'll just run one quick batch and show you how much I'll make. Oxygen also, you don't really need a farm either. You can do this just buying supplies at the space stations from all the people that fly in, or just from the terminal itself. Get you plenty, but with a farm, even producing minimal, it's more than you need. In fact, sometimes I just sell all the oxygen for a few million because I've got too much. Alright, so let's get this to the point where I'll just run these 5. For 4 minutes starting now. And while those do their thing, I will take you on a little tour of my base here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this should do me, yep, 4 minutes, okay. Alright, so typically I'll pop in here and I'll fill all of these guys up and have them all running at the same time. And what I'll do is just run back and forth, and I won't let them finish. I'll just move the chlorine back over until my stacks of oxygen are gone. And I'll use 10 times 5, so roughly 50,000 oxygen there, another 50,000 there, all running at the same time. But it's constant upkeep until they're all done. I haven't really timed how long it takes to go through that big of a stack, but it's not too long, honestly. This is the real moneymaker, though, which is the activated indium. And I say real moneymaker because you don't have to do anything. You can just walk away and it's constantly filling up, which is my style of making money for sure. If only I could do that in real life. But first starting out, chlorine, it is so easy to make tons of money. I'll just do these stacks, what you get for 4 minutes on these 5 guys, and I will sell it at my space station that I found that has a pretty decent economy for chlorine and indium. Not the best, but they're both positive, which is rare to find for activated indium anyway, so I just sell them both there. So basically as much money as you could ever want and need. Upgrade all your starships, inventory slots, doesn't matter because you'll never run out of money. In my previous video, you know, I kind of brought you over here to show you what I've got going on. But originally I was just showing you how to make a few nanites really quick. Get yourself some jetpack upgrades as fast as you can in this game. It makes life so much better. just refining those larval cores for 50 nanites a pop. You know, you do 10, 20 of those eggs, and you've got yourself 2 S-class jetpack upgrades, which makes a pretty big difference in your playstyle. So we got about 35 seconds left on the first one, about a minute left. So in about a minute we'll grab those stacks. It should give us roughly, what, 20k, 30k in chlorine. So that ought to sell for a few million, I would say. So what, 32 seconds there, 35. All right, yeah, we're gonna be ending pretty soon. Now normally, like I said earlier, I'd get to that point before they turn green and I'd be quickly transferring it back over. I'd grab the stack, move it over, and then it would just continue. But what we're gonna do is, let's see how much chlorine I've got. None. Perfect. So this will just be from this 4 minutes. I'll just grab it all. And I'll just leave the stacks in my refiners, because even if it glitches and I lose it all, I don't really care. It will be readily available some other time. Okay, so there we go. I've got my 20 plus 492. So let's teleport. And we're going to go to Chlorindium 1. Which has the, I think it's like, it's only like 2 or 3% on the chlorine and like 4% on activated indium. We'll find out when we get there. Now the trick is, once you find a good economy, do not sell to the terminal over here, because you will, with the amount you're selling, you will crash the economy. I typically will wait till my exosuit inventory is full before I come and sell. So yeah, 2.7%. Now look, I'm gonna make 12,600,000 units off of 4 minutes of time. Typically I will have quite a few slots full of chlorine, and we're talking 200 million units in no time. I mean, if I was running all 10 of my refiners, I would have double that. And so let's just say 25 million every 4 minutes. That ain't bad. So anywho, again, don't sell here. We will drop on down and sell to one of the ships that shows up, because I also have with me my pretty much a full ship worth of activated indium. So I'm curious how much that's going to sell for. So we will find out shortly. Of course, they never show up when you want them to, so we will wait patiently. Let's go check out how much the jetpack upgrades are. Purchase. Alright. So an S-class movement module is 588 nanites. Yeah, so you would need 12 of those larval cores, which really wouldn't take you that long. But here's what we were waiting for. These fellers. yes. Let us trade goods. Alright, I'm going to chlorine. Boom, sell that puppy. And then activated indium. Oh, I need to switch to my ship. There we go. Yeah, 376 million. That'll add to my units nicely. Let's do that. So still at 5.3% demand. So normally, if you were to do that, you would crash the economy. And if you've never crashed the economy, you can play that to your benefit. But what will happen is the demand... Oh, I can't even show you now because I sold it all. But the demand would jump down to negative 80%, which means you could buy it all back if you had sold it to the terminal at an extremely reduced rate, go to another system, sell it all there, and repeat that as long as they will sell you whatever it is you're selling. So like if you're selling chlorine and they also sell chlorine at that terminal, then you could sell it, crash the economy, buy it back, fly to another system. If they sell it, then you can rinse and repeat. And if they don't sell it, then that's your last stop. You sell it all, crash the economy, and you're done. The unfortunate thing is, and I have yet to find an official answer on this, but the economies, when you sell, 100,000 chlorine to them, it takes a long time for those economies to recover. And I think there's some sort of timer going for every single unit you sell them. So like if you don't fully crash the economy, you just make the demand go down to like negative 20, it will slowly tick back up to what it was before. But if you crash it so hard that it's hits that negative 80, but unit wise it goes way further than that, then yeah, you're days before it recovers. So not sure on the official timescales, or if there even is a timer. Some people say you warp enough times and economies will reset, but I've warped all over the places and economies have stayed horrible until just days have gone by, so I'm not really sure. But anywho, that's a very quick rundown on little chlorine farm. Let's see if my refiners, yeah, they still have their stuff, so I might as well start these guys back up, and I will leave the video at that. So thank you all for joining me. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next one.